I get a lot of people asking me how we were blessed to walk away from corporate America in our early 30s. Well, listen, I don't want to keep that a secret. I want to share it with the world. And so maybe you're listening to this podcast and you're trying to figure out, how do I even get started on my journey of entrepreneurship and getting to a level of freedom? Well, text the word freedom to 737 777 9909. Enter your information in, and we look forward to sharing some information with you. A proven system with small overhead, right? That you can do part-time, spare time, right from the comfort of your home, and have amazing mentors, coaches, and a community of entrepreneurs who are willing to support you and help you on your journey to freedom. Welcome to Code Freedom. I'm your host, Eddie Bales. Have you ever felt stuck? Have you ever felt like there's got to be more than life than the reality that you see every day? Tune in weekly, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays as we crack the codes to freedom in every area of your life. Welcome to Code Freedom. This is your host, Eddie Bales, and this is episode 196. And today we're going to talk about work ethic because, of course, this is Code Freedom, and the whole goal is for us to have freedom. And by the way, how do you have freedom? Well, you want to have your passive income greater than your expenses. And just keep in mind, most people have no forms of passive income. So let's just say your bills are 3,000 a month. I don't know what it are. I'm just throwing that out there, right? Everyone has something bigger than that or something smaller than that. But let's just say ballpark your expenses. Maybe you got a mortgage, a car note, cell phone bill, insurance, all those different things, and at the end of the month, it all adds up to about $3,000. Okay, well, let's start building passive income that's paying you 500 a month, and then grow that to 1,000, then 2,000. Then of course, obviously we want to grow that to past the 3,000, and now you are financially free. And you can do that at 4,000 a month in passive income, 5,000 a month in passive income. The key is that it has to be passive income. And don't get me wrong, passive income doesn't mean that you just do absolutely nothing. Of course, there are some things that will provide that for you, right? You can make an investment in, a fund or stock type of fund, like an index fund, and it will pay you passively. You don't have to do anything else. Once you put the money in, it just keeps paying you, right? It'll go up and down, but it'll keep paying you, especially if you're getting dividends on it, right? But then there are other things where you may have to work it just a little bit, but of course you're not giving it all your energy and focus, but it's still paying you passively. Like the amount that you work it compared to the amount that it pays you is far greater than what you pay, which you're putting into it. And that's what makes it passive. So I want to just explain that. But let's talk about work ethic because I find in today's society that many people have lost that that mindset. And your goal should be to outwork everybody around you. In your industry, you want to be the hardest working person. You want to be the one that outworks everybody, right? Because a lot of people, even that are successful, they end up resting on their laurels, and then next thing you know, uh, they end up declining because they thought that they have arrived. And so you've never arrived. You're either growing or you're dying. There is no in between. You always got to be growing. You always have to be transforming yourself. So you always got to be working. You always have to be putting that time in. And working is different on different levels. We're talking about different types of work. Working on yourself, reading the books, working on uh, your communication skills, working on your leadership skills, working on all kinds of stuff. Of course, working on your body, working on your marriage, working on your relationships, working on your your health. There's so many different things that we must work on, and of course, working on getting the finances. And then once you get the finances, working on letting that uh, those finances continue to grow and multiply. Right, be fruitful and multiply is what the Bible says. So you don't want to just get the fruit and eat it. You want to get the fruit and multiply it so that it continues to grow and expand, right? So that it continues to feed you, right? So, but you got to work hard, and you got to outwork everybody. Don't misunderstand the passive income is great. The freedom lifestyle is great, but it requires work, and it requires an insane amount of work. Matter of fact, even more work than the 9 to 5. And I think that's where some people go wrong. And it's like, oh man, the 9 to 5 life is hard. Well, look, the freedom life is hard. That's why most people don't have freedom, because they think it's going to be easy, right? And the key is it's not easy, right? It's hard work, but it's worthwhile work, right? Because it's a different level when you get to wake up, not to worry about your bills, but because your bills are already paid, because you were blessed to build things that pay you passively, right? I'm excited that my wife and I are getting ready to pay off one of our vehicles this month, and that's just exciting to me, because that means that we can put more money to work passively on our behalf, right? So that's the key, folks. Is of course we could always decrease expenses, but in my opinion, the biggest focus should be to increase income, and that takes work. It takes work to be able to do that. So increase that income. And right now, maybe you're just working a job and you don't know how to get passive income. Well, look, you can listen to all the episodes that we have here on this podcast, or you could even reach out to me, look in the show notes, and connect with me, and we can share some things and some strategies that have worked well for us and so many other people that we consult people with. But the key is, um, we have to have an insane amount of work ethic. I mean, people like Steve Jobs and some of the legends, even Martin Luther King. I mean, the people who we know their name, they work hard. They have outworked everyone else. That's why we know them, right? And then when things get hard, they don't just slow down. They keep going. They go even harder, because that's the nature of it all. Is you got to work hard. You got to have that work ethic. You have to have that obsession where it's like nothing's getting in my way, kind of like the ant philosophy. The ants think winter when it's summer, and they think summer when it's winter. So they're always working. They're never just chilling. They're like, okay, it's summertime, life is good, but guess what? The winter's coming. And then when the winter's here, they're like, okay, we could be chilling, but we need to start getting prepared so that when the summer comes, we can go hard, we can hit it. So that's the key, is that work ethic, that unshakable work ethic. That I think about people like Steph Curry, and you may say, well, how did he shoot so well? Well, look, he outworks everybody. Kobe, I mean, we talked about that a few episodes ago, how he would come in the gym, if he knew, we're talking off season, by the way. If he knew that during off season people were coming into the gym to practice at 5, he would get there at 3, right? Because he said, look, if they're practicing starting at 5, I'm gonna get 2 extra hours on them. Right? That was his mindset. That was the Mamba mentality. And that's the mentality that we need to have, is look, I'm gonna stay up later than everyone else. I'm gonna get up earlier than everyone else. I'm gonna do more with the hour that I have, right? I'm gonna be absolutely focused and dialed in. I'm not gonna have all these distractions, but I'm gonna get it done, because my work ethic is gonna take me where I want to go. Right? I mean, you can have gifts and abilities and talents, but if your work ethic isn't where it needs to be, no one's gonna know who you are. Your gift will make room for you, but you have to work that gift in order for it to do so, right? Jesus shamed the person that um that took the seed and didn't do anything with it, right? It was about multiplying it. And so we have to multiply what we have, and the only way to do that is with an insane amount of work ethic. And I love what Cardone teaches in his book, The 10X Rule. You got to do 10X more than everybody else, right? If your goal is to make $1 million, you should set the goal to make $10 million. That way, you'll do the right amount of hustling to get the $1 million, right? Because you're operating on a different wavelength. And sometimes we're tuned into the wrong frequency, the wrong wavelength, and then it doesn't allow us to accomplish the goals that we have. So short episode today, but I just want to bring this to you. I hope you guys got some value. Just came back from Maui, Hawaii. It was amazing. Was even blessed to speak on stage. Obviously it was a vacation, but it was kind of a working vacation, where it was a little bit of work, but then a lot of fun, if that makes sense. Because look, we always got to be grinding, always working, always hustling. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a time to rest. There's a time to relax, but there's also a time to focus. There's a time to just give it everything you have so that you can achieve, so that the rest you can be worth the rest, right? You got to be worth the rest. And the only way to be worth the rest is if you did the work in order to do that. So God bless you guys. This is episode 196. I can't wait to see you on the next episode. Take care, take charge. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you guys for listening. Definitely feel free to take a screenshot of this episode, tag me in it on Instagram or Facebook or wherever you find me on social media. I would love to give you a shout out. Hey, you might even get a prize. Who knows? But excited that you had a chance to take a listen. I hope you got a lot of value. And definitely feel free to give us 5 stars as well as a review. Show us some love, and we appreciate you. God bless you all, and see you all over the top.